Hello again, traders, and welcome back to the Hot Stocks Outlook for March 17th, 2023. Hope you all are having an excellent week out there in the financial markets. And boy, what a week are we having here. So let's go ahead and start out. We'll take a look at the broader markets here. And we can see with the S&P 500, the SPY ETF, we're off about 10% over the past rolling 12-month period. You see, we've got things turned a little bit higher at the beginning of the year, at the first quarter there, where we had Apple and Disney. A lot of these stocks do well in January, but we are seeing some cracks emerge once again and really seeing some problems here. So I want to go ahead and highlight the VantagePoint forecast and really how these tools can help traders, really regardless of your time frame, what you're doing, really just benefiting off of the technology and the short-term forecasting ability of these tools. So what we have here, we're going to start out with shares of Boston Properties. We'll take a look at Facebook, Bath and Body, Waste Management, Kimco, and we'll end on Pepsi here. But a really great example of how all these tools work together here with shares of Boston Properties. So what we have here is daily price action, right? So each one of these candles represents a full and complete trading day. And it's right up against that price data that you'll see that there is a black line value and a blue line value. And so what these two values are is, well, the first value, that black moving average, is actually a simple moving average. This is a very common technical indicator. And for this purpose, it helps to smooth out the existing price action. But the problem with traditional technical analysis and indicators like that is all of that data just comes from the past, right? So it just takes the past 10 close prices, adds it all together, and divides by 10. And so it helps to smooth out the data, but it really has no predictive ability at all. And it's really just going to be dragged around by what's already occurred. And so what we want to do is compare that black moving average, essentially our baseline of prices. We want to compare that to this blue value. And for this number to get calculated and plotted against the chart every evening for traders, this is where the technology of artificial neural networks come into play and are generating what's called a predicted moving average, this being the proprietary value generated via the artificial intelligence. So what's happening here is a very sophisticated form of analysis. It's called intermarket analysis. Now, we know that markets share very important market relationships, right? So specifically to Boston Properties, though, what the software is able to do is understand individual stocks as well as the broader market like the S&P 500. It'll look at individual ETF groups as well as things like global interest rates or the value of the dollar index, or even down to specific commodities that may be applicable. Maybe it's an oil company or a gold mining company. And so it's able to take all of this information and it's learning from those patterns within the data and actually using that to generate highly accurate future price predictions. And it's those highly accurate price predictions generated via the technology that are used to construct all of these indicators, turning what were lagging tools that just look behind at what's already occurred into forward-looking predictive tools. And so whenever we see that blue line, in this case, cross below the black line, it's suggesting that those average prices are expected to move lower, and traders can act accordingly based on their strategies and timeframes here. But you see, we've had about a 27% decline in the past 26 trading days. Last week, we took a look at some of the banking stocks and things. Like, we've been highlighting this weakness because that's how these indicators have broadly been skewing across the broader market. We can see that with the help of some of the IntelliScan features. So that really helps traders get ahead of these trend shifts in the market. But there's other indicators here based off the technology as well that help solve different problems. So if you look at the bottom of the chart here, you'll see that there's this bar that goes from green to red. And what this is another indicator. It gets updated every single day, but it's tuned to solve a different problem for the trader. And what it's doing is forecasting short-term prices over the next 48 hours. So short-term strength or weakness over that subsequent 48-hour window. And you can see here as the neural index gets bullish here, you get a little sideways price action, gets bullish here, again, some higher highs over the next couple of trading days. But notice over really the month and a half, there's a lot of red highlighting that you should expect this market to continue lower. And you're also every day provided a intraday predicted high and low level. So this is where these neural networks are tuned to solve these very specific problems for the trader. And then the trader can come in and manage the opportunity, understanding that the overall trend is down. The neural index will warn us of some potential strength in the market over the very short term. But you'd want to be looking up towards these predicted highs to potentially set short positions in the marketplace. And so we've had so many opportunities. We looked at things like Netflix and a lot of the banking stocks last week. And there's plenty of opportunities to get really great short positioning in the portfolio. And that can be very advantageous, especially as volatility starts to kick back into things. So you see this multiple entries there as this market declines a very good clip here over the past month and a half. Now, let's go ahead and take that same approach over to shares of Facebook. And here we have a much different picture. And we can see that over the past few weeks, well, there's been a very bullish rally in price. And the exact same approach, you see that blue line crossing above the black line, neural index bullish going into there, but we can look back and see, well, what were those predicted high and low levels? Once you identified that the overall trend was up, where might you want to look to stake out a position? And you see here the very next trading day, pretty much hit that perfectly, and the market doesn't look back. Imagine how much volume is actually taking place down at those price levels relative to the entire trading day. So you're getting an edge on the bulk of the market participants. Again, here on these dips, understanding that you really want to look for price to move lower, but the overall trend is to the upside. Expects short-term weakness, but intraday levels, well, is what you'd expect. So we'll take a look at this overall move here, but a really nice pop here in shares of Meta. And it makes sense to really have these hedges in the portfolio, have some longs, have some shorts, but it is potentially pretty dangerous out there. Things are obviously moving around quite a bit. We have shares of Facebook up 18% just over the past 12 trading days. Now here's shares of Bed Bath & Beyond. And again, here a market that is in a strong downtrend. Neural index bearish going in there, but you see that you get these little blips where the neural index gets bullish, but the overall trend here very, very bearish. And so if you're focused in on the market and understand, okay, well, this is where I want to be trading, you have these updated levels each and every trading day provided via that neural network technology. And so here you see a lot of volatility, right? It trades completely out of the range and then immediately to that predicted high that never got hit and then continues the downtrend. And so you see these levels are extremely advantageous for the trader who is prepared, can put limit orders in, and really understands where they want to be focused at this particular time. So we see here Bed and Bath and Bodyworks here off 23.5% over the past 26 trading days. So there's some very big moves going on out there, and you want to be a part of them, but certainly not on the wrong side of some of this stuff that is really experiencing some stress here. Now here's shares of Waste Management. This being a little bit more recent, we've had that recent rally in stocks, right? So here in Waste Management, you see this had come through quite a while ago. You see on 3.9 getting that crossover, the blue line crossing above the black line, and same approach, saying, okay, well, if this is an area where you'd want to be taking long positions, where might you want to look for prices to move in the very short term? And so that first entry, you get this move all the way down to the predicted low here. You get another blip here where you move lower, but again, hitting these predicted high values. So if you're looking to do some short-term trading and take some profits, well, there's been an area where at least there's been some strength and some levels you've identified with the help of the technology. So about a 3.5% move here in shares of Waste Management. We can come over to Kimco, so very similar to Boston Properties, but recognizing a theme, right? Well, there's some weakness over here in these real estate stocks. We've also got Bed Bath and Body Works. Potentially some strength in other areas of the market. But the important thing is you're utilizing the output of the technology. And you have to understand that in situations like this, these predicted high and low levels, like you see here, are always provided the day ahead of time. And then you see the actual trading day fill in against that prediction. And so you can see just how accurate these levels are if you have a market where you understand, okay, this is where I want to be trading, whether long or short. And you're going to have this technology able to take in each evening that global information, update these indicators to help you anticipate, well, where are things headed next and where are these important shifts potentially happening in the marketplace. So again, here shares of Kimco off 17.7% in the past 27 trading days. Lastly, here we'll take a look at Pepsi. And again, very short-term situations here. But when you think about, okay, well, if one's trying to get long, you want to get very good entries, so you don't have to risk a huge amount. And if things start to break out, well, great. But if they move lower, you can get out of the way, not lose money, and still come out ahead. Here you see that blue line crossing above the black line. Next day's neural index. And I actually wanted to bring this in because we see this quite a bit, right? So, you know, these levels are very short term, and you see how here's the predicted high. Okay, well, was it, you know, it didn't get hit there. Well, did it not get hit there? Or are we just moving up there, you know, currently now? And this trading day, you see we didn't hit this level. So when you have those couple trading days and those couple of levels where you know, hey, this is where you should be looking, this is where the focus should be going, you really have some advantageous price points to get a position on, trail your stops and, have opportunities both on the long and short side of the portfolio. But it has certainly been a volatile period here. You want to be extra careful and have the best tools available to limit the risk and keep you open to some of those bigger opportunities that we see breaking out. So we'll go ahead and leave it there for today. But once again, this has been the Hot Stocks Outlook for March 17th, 2023. Thank you all for watching. Best of luck and bye for now.